From here, the rebels had planned to push toward Tiji, but the operation has been temporarily put on hold. They began the offensive a week ago, but the guns almost immediately fell silent. Tiji is only a few kilometers from this front line, and taking control of the town would allow rebels to move north and cut off Gaddafi's supply line from Tunisia. But commanders say they are ready to wait, to avoid a possible inter-tribal conflict.
Elders of Tiji asked us not to enter and give them 4 days to allow for reconciliation efforts. That way we would prevent animosity between the tribes of the region. Gaddafi is trying to convince people that we are forcing them from their homes, and this is not true.
Some 25,000 civilians are believed to be in Tiji and its surrounding areas. Gaddafi's men, the rebels say, have been using the civilians as human shields and preventing them from leaving. A military push could result in a high number of civilian deaths, and what rebels say they want is to avoid killing their own people. It's not only a question about avoiding civilian casualties. Yes, the presence of civilians complicates the fighting, but commanders and rebels say they also want to avoid the possibility of civil war when Gaddafi's forces eventually are forced out of the town. Many Libyans strongly oppose Gaddafi, but there are some tribes who still support him. These rebels from Tiji acknowledge that Gaddafi still has some support in their hometown, and his army has one of its biggest bases in the region there. Many of these men fled weeks ago and are waiting for their commanders to tell them to head to the front lines. But they say they are ready to be patient to avoid civil strife.
Gaddafi has been trying to create strife among the tribes. To an extent, he has succeeded. There are tensions. He has managed to convince some that the people from the mountains plan to attack those who live in the plains and vice versa.
Divisions are not new. Gaddafi has long exploited ethnic and tribal differences to hold on to power, a policy these rebels know all too well. Reconciliation may be the biggest challenge, even bigger than the challenge they continue to face to win this war. Zeina, Khodr, Jazeera, Nafusa Mountains.